Ladies, gentlemen, and young ladies, hello everyone, or good evening. Welcome to this new conference, Geopolitics, dedicated to current events global in the news international. On the side of the Republic of Ivory Coast on this October 20th, 2025, nothing is going well. Nothing is going well. The Ivorians have set up a movement called Let's Block Everything. Yes, they want everything. Block, paralyze public life, and that everything stops, since the opposition, obviously as their name indicates, is firmly opposed to a fourth term of the President Alassane Dramane Ouattara. On these images that you can see there, these are sad images. Images of an Ivory Coast which crosses one of the most difficult moments of his life history. We wonder if the will Ivorians be able to go all the way. Here is the big question that arises, since the majority of Ivorians today want to get rid of a political regime which is at the service of France Africa. We have never stopped saying it here, and we will not stop never to repeat it. Ivory Coast this morning is experiencing one of the most difficult situations until what even a gendarme in the exercise of his duties was found dead. He was sent to eternal rest in very cold circumstances. We don't know not who those at the base are. We really don't know what it is, what led to his departure for eternal rest. Are these the protesters who gave him his ticket to eternal rest? Or is it by mistake his friends have perhaps gave him a fatal blow? Or what really happened? For the moment, everything is unclear. In Agoville, nothing is going well. In Yamoussoukro, nothing. Does not go to the capital Abidjan. The rallies have started. Nothing is going well. Ladies and gentlemen, within the framework of this geopolitical conference is this news that we are going to talk about. But as usual, before continue, I will see a lot of shares. There you go, a lot of shares. Because our platforms are suffering, obviously currently a lot of many restrictions, if necessary say so. Here we have a pressure, so by putting the hearts, the likes, and sharing as much as possible, this gives more visibility to the conference and up to date. There you go. Do not hesitate to leave your different opinions in comments. That's what it's all about. So it is October 20th, 2025. We are in the Republic of Ivory Coast, where President Alassane Dramane Ouattara, after having amended the constitution, decided to run for office. But he took the care to exclude all of the potential candidates who are the opposition and who are truly loved. This is the case, for example, of the President Tantcham, President Laurent Gbagbo. It must be said that in the streets, protesters chant slogans hostile to the regime. We can hear them, not to say about the fourth mandate. We want Laurent Gbagbo in power, and so on and so forth, etc. So in Agoville, and it is from there that, if I do not make no mistake, that the gendarme has gone to eternal rest. And that is already the symbol of a great inner discomfort. We don't know not the circumstances, but it already means to say that the tension is very increasing. What is happening to the Republic of Ivory Coast, we don't wish. We never wished for it, and we do not want Ivory Coast relive what she experienced in the past, very recent, that we have until then, the after effects of the pain. We don't want that. But at the way things are going, the situation risks getting worse, since the closer the elections get, the more tension is there. This is first of all a pre-election crisis. Is it after elections the crisis will continue? Really don't want it for the Republic of Ivory Coast. It is necessary to say that, so the death of this gendarme reveals a very big issue. It's a drama which reveals a climate of tension growing in law enforcement. There you go. And it must be said that the power in place really starting to lose authority. It must be said, it must be repeated, since if the power in place continued to really have control, what happened to the policemen was not happen at all. We have several protesters who are deployed in Yamoussoukro. We see groups, we see shops closed. Everything is at a standstill. Roads are barricaded, as you can see in picture. Roads are barricaded, no passage. The slogan, the watchword is block everything, and they fall into the logic of everything blocked so that nothing works. So it must be said that the opposition is really determined. The opposition is determined to to deal with this matter, the fourth mandate of President Alassane Dramane Ouattara. The opposition does not want the elections are taking place almost everywhere, that whether on social networks, especially on TikTok and Facebook, we have communicators from the opposition who call citizens to come out en masse, and citizens are following the slogans despite tear gases being launched, despite that here arrests are underway. But the Ivorian population, in any case, that who belongs to the opposition doesn't get angry at all. She doesn't get angry, not. She's still furious. So finally, we wonder what's going on actually happen. Is it Alassane Ouattara will call to talk, or he will continue in the repression? If he decides to continue in the repression, what will happen? That the crisis risks being perpetuated, continue to perpetuate itself, because more Alassane Dramane will repress in the blood, plus the youth of the opposition will be determined. Already this gendarme who has fallen, the opposition is already present this. In any case, certain elements that we saw on social networks already present this as being an element, I don't know, of victory. Or in any case, it is a real act symbolic than the soul of the gendarme. Rest in peace. It is truly an act regrettable, huh? It's sad. There you go. We don't even want that to happen. We didn't want this to happen. But we already see some who say that this is it, and that's how it is, the rest of the situation will happen. And it's sad, the gendarmes receive orders. They receive orders, and we don't have the right to follow them, treat them in this way, until sent to eternal rest. It is true that also on the side of the citizens of the opposition, people are in the process of innocent people are going to rest eternal by the fact of these same forces of order. So all this testifies to the seriousness of the situation on the side of the Republic of Ivory Coast. Then the question remains. Dramane Ouattara will continue the repression, or else will he perhaps try to postpone elections to call for dialogue and then include the opposition in the race for the presidency, or so he will continue as soon as he is validated as the next president, and then there you go, he will accentuate the repression. In any case, everything points to believe that Ivory Coast is experiencing one of these most difficult moments, one of these most decisive moments. So young ladies and gentlemen, this is what we have for the moment. We know about what is happening in Republic of Ivory Coast. Thanks to everyone to share the conference at most. I'll get back to you soon with news. It was the voice of your humble servant, the Samouraï.